I'm sure everybody saw the football game this weekend. Here's Chris Agar with the highlights.
Wesley wastes no time when the homecoming party started as Larry Beavers receives the opening kickoff and then goes down the sideline 79 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. But Wesley only goes up 6-0 because the extra point was blocked. Later on in the first quarter, Mike Penwell caps off a 66-yard drive after he makes a nice move to the outside and sprints 8 yards into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. Wesley goes up 13-0 at this point. Late in the first quarter, Apprentice looks to get back into it, but Phil Corrales is picked off by Eddie Denisi, who takes the interception for a defensive touchdown, putting Wesley up 20-0. They entered halftime leading by that score. At the start of the third quarter, the Wolverine offense refuses to go down, as Mike Penwell busts up the middle and sprints 24 yards into the end zone for a second score of the day. This touchdown gave Wesley a 27-0 advantage. Later in the third quarter, Larry Beavers puts the special in special teams as he receives the punt and goes right down the sideline and then up and over two defenders into the end zone for a 43-yard punt return for a score. Wesley goes up 34-0. Then John Lanouette goes into the Wesley record books with his 133rd career reception. Congratulations to him. At the end of the third quarter, Mike Penwell gets a hat trick here with a 5-yard bust up the middle into the end zone for a touchdown. This score put Wesley up 41-0. It was so bad, the coaching staff took the starters out, but the Apprentice defense couldn't even stop the second strings. In the fourth quarter, Jason Schatz finds Sean McAndrew with this long bomb, and McAndrew breaks a couple of tackles and goes into the end zone for a 48-yard touchdown, putting Wesley up 48-0. They go on to win 48-0. McSweeney completed 10 of 18 passes for 110 yards and was picked off for the first time this season. That's amazing. Mike Penwell gained 89 yards on the ground on 10 attempts and scored 3 times. Sean McAndrew was the leading receiver for the Wolverines with 2 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown.
Thank you, Chris. That was a great game.
Saturday night, I had the pleasure of attending our own Comedy Blitz. What an experience. Saturday, the Homecoming Blitz was shown at the Schwartz Center, where students like A.J. Johnson arrived with lots of anticipation.
I think it's going to be funny because the last one we had was real funny. I enjoyed it, and I was waiting. I couldn't wait for the next one. So I kind of can't wait to see the next one.
Many students showed up in groups to support the activity. Director of Student Activities, Beth Fisher, was pleased as she explained how she felt.
Outside the classroom, I think it's a good culmination for homecoming. We've had a great weekend of events and, trying to keep students busy and connected and interacting, and it's not every day you get to have an official celebrity on campus, so it's an exciting time, I think.
Everyone arrived ready for a show. The audience seemed to enjoy the free program provided for them, with laughs and good comedians. Student Eric Mason gave his opinion once the show was over.
Ant was funny, and the black guy was funny. You could tell he toured with Dave Chappelle because he sounded like him.
Students left glad that they had came, with a funny joke to share with their friends, and walked away with quite an experience.
Here's Chris Agar with your exclusive sports highlights.
And the bass keeps running, running, and 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 running.
Thanks, guys. Now it's time for your weekly sports update. After his monster day returning kicks, Larry Beavers was named the ACFC Special Teams Player of the Week. His Wolverine teammate Aaron Benson was named the Defensive Player of the Week. Wesley is still ranked 11th in the polls. Their next game is another road contest against Weber International. Make sure you tune in to WCTV for the highlights. The men's soccer team defeated Valley Forge Christian 8-0 in their homecoming game. They'd look to extend their 4-game winning streak on October 22nd when they play York. The women's soccer team also won in shutout fashion on homecoming. They beat Valley Forge Christian 3-0. Their next game is October 22nd against Lebanon Valley. It's right here at Wesley, so come out and support your team. The volleyball team had a tri-match for homecoming against Bryn Athyn and Lancaster Bible. They defeated Bryn Athyn 3-0, but lost to Lancaster Bible 3-1. They play again on October 21st when they face Notre Dame, Maryland. That does it here from the sports desk. Back to you guys.
Here's Shannon Higgins with the weather.
Hi, I'm Shannon Higgins, and this is your WCTV weekly weather forecast. Let's take a look at our Doppler radar provided by AccuWeather. We're going to have winds coming in from the west this week, so expect clear skies coming into Dover. On Tuesday, it's going to be mostly sunny with a little bit of wind, a high of 66 and a low of 40. And on Wednesday, it's going to be sunny with a little bit more wind and a high of 56 and a low of 39. And on Thursday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 58 and a low of 41. On Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy again with a high of 61 and a low of 49. On Saturday, we're going to see some showers and a high of 67 and a low of 55. And on Sunday, a little bit more showers with a high of 66 and a low of 48. This is Shannon Higgins with your WCTV weekly weather.
If you guys didn't make it to dinner on Saturday night, then you missed out. I went, and the Student Activities Committee sponsored a bingo night. When Wesley students entered the CAF this past weekend, one of the many homecoming events that was being offered was bingo. Students had the luxury of eating dinner and playing bingo to win big prizes such as rock band, room makeovers, DVDs, gift cards, and much more. During the night, celebrity guests came out and called out the numbers. Dean of Students Mary Alice Ozachowski, Homecoming King Joshua Jones, SGA President Shannon Reed, and Preacher Moss from Last Comic Standing were just a few of the guests. The bingo games were organized by the Homecoming Committee, who did a successful job at hosting the event.
After all the partying, sadly the celebration has to come to an end. Here's Marvin Baum with some details about how the homecoming has ended.
Classes have resumed, and people are still talking about the amazing weekend here at Wesley. All the fun they had. This past week, Wesley College kicked off its homecoming week with a bang. They had first event on Wednesday, Think Fast. Many Wesley students came out in support of the event.
I really thought it was good. At first, I was kind of skeptical about whether I should go or not. But after being here and talking with the upperclassmen and they recommended I should go, I went to all the activities and I thought it was very good.
Homecoming was such a big success this year. Students at Wesley College are already talking about and giving suggestions for next year. This is Marvin Bond for WCTV.
I hope next year we get nothing but better.
Well, that's it for the news, Wesley students. I'm Whitney Towns.
And I'm Chardonnay Wood.
Stay classy.
And stay sassy.